Welcome to the Writer's Life, a place where you get the sights, sounds, smells, tastes of my particular writer's life, where you get the truth. Woo! It's a beautiful day in Florence. It's the river. Very nice. Day after Christmas, everything's closed down again. It was open in the morning, and now they're closed down again because of the long weekend. So I just real quick, on social media, I happened to run across an influencer who's got a ton of followers, like 30,000 followers, something like that. And he was doing a video about, he runs a travel blog, right? And so he was doing a video about how you should definitely pay for the hotel breakfast, right? And his point was like, you can make a ton of sandwiches and take them with you in your backpack or day pack, for later on. So like he's openly just, feeding, or not feeding his face, but openly like stealing really from the breakfast buffet. And so I'm like, look at dude, bad form, bad form. And he just came back with like, why? I'm like, because you're paying for breakfast. You can eat as much as you want at breakfast, but if everybody starts getting the idea that they can also make lunch and dinner and whatever, like hotels are gonna, number one, charge a lot more, or they're gonna have to put up signage that says, don't be an asshole. It's funny because it reminded me actually of being in Thailand, Vietnam, Cambodia, and I'm not knocking these people as a race or anything like that, but I'm just saying the Chinese are so new to tourism, relatively new to tourism, that they would often take from the breakfast buffet take so much from it for the day, to the extent that they would bring thermoses with them. They would fill thermoses with pots of coffee. Like they go up to the breakfast counter and just consume all the coffee and stuff like that, and everybody'd be like, "What the fuck?" And because they just didn't know better. So I kind of mentioned that to him, but no disrespect to him, but like what it comes down to is, I feel like as a frequent traveler, overseas traveler, I feel like influencers are just ruining travel for everybody, bit by bit by bit by bit. They make a little money from maybe a company or whatever, a sponsored product, and they get all these followers for one reason or another. And they'll say like, this place, this sandwich place, this panini place is the best. You gotta go here. And suddenly you can't get in the place. Suddenly it's jam-packed. Or people are just like flocking to one city, because they saw an influencer or whatever. But, people might argue like, well, New York Times used to write about travel articles or whatever, but it's not the same. Because people always have this thing in their face. So anyway, these influencers have great reach. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say. Just wanted to bitch about influencers, right? I don't know. Or maybe I'm just jealous because they have so many followers and I don't. Anyway, that's all I got. Taking a walk to loosen up my back a little bit. Sitting too much today. Working on my books. I only got about a week left here in Florence. Then I go back to Rome for a couple days and then already fly home from there. All right, that's it, everybody. Merry Christmas and ciao, ciao.